All right, well, let's talk about education a little bit if we could, gentlemen. I know you're both familiar with it. You've both got experience on both sides. What's more important for local school districts from the state? More money or more local control?
Well, I would say, obviously both, but I would like to have more local control, but it's easy to give that lip service, but it's very difficult to get it. I think that Act 10 certainly gave us a lot more local control than we have had. In fact, in my 15 years on the school board, that is the only time we have ever gotten significantly more local control, that we now have control over how we're going to structure our compensation, how we're going to structure our evaluation of teachers. And we certainly have more control over, healthcare costs, which were rising tremendously rapidly. So we do have a lot more local control, and I want to continue that. I want us to have more of a say in the decision making, and that goes to the financial part of it as well. I think that we elect school board members locally. If you disagree with what they do, you can call them up on the phone. When it's at the state level, you can't do that. So I hugely in favor of local control. As Ronald Reagan said, I think government governs best that governs closest to home, and I fully agree with that. Certainly, we would like more money, but again, the more money you take, the less control you have has been the history of it, and that's how we got into the mess that we are with the state taking over most of our control.
Joe Majeski?
Yeah, I think this is something, and as we go through these debates and reforms, I try to look for areas that Joel and I can agree on, and we do have areas that we can agree on. Ultimately, you have to find it. You have to have those skills to find those common ground and then move forward. In terms of local control and dollars, realistically, they go hand in hand. Unfortunately, what's happened in the past is when dollars did come down from Madison, they often were attached to mandates, and we would lose local control because of that in order to accept the dollars. I firmly believe in local control. I have watched numerous school boards over my 24-year career at Sevastopol, worked with numerous school boards, and each one of them year after year seems to have to give up more and more control. And that's unfortunate. We have to return this control back to the local school boards. They know what's best for their schools, and each school is very different and distinct across the state. In terms of more dollars, another area that Joel and I agree on, the funding formula for the state right now has to be relooked at. One area we probably disagree on is how to do that. I would take a strong look at Tony Evers, the Department of Public Instruction superintendent. He's offered a very solid formula that I think would financially benefit the school districts in the First Assembly. Unfortunately, it hasn't seen the light of day, and it needs to.
Joel Kitchens, you have a 90-second rebuttal.
Yeah, no rebuttal, but the only thing that I would say is I reiterate that, when you get more dollars, you give up power, and the government, both state and national, has a history of giving you money, taking control away, and then backing off on the financial commitment. And that's part of the healthcare debate, which I suspect we'll be getting into at some point here.